Okay, so for our November book, we are reviewing Verity by Colleen Hoover. You want to start?
So is this, like, just prefacing, we're gonna start by this book, compared to her other books, is quite different. Like, the books that I've read written by her are very happy, they're like romance novels, all of that. This one was quite different for her to write.
It was heavy.
Yeah. A lot more emotional, I'd say. Like, darker emotions. Like, I feel like she explored new things with this book.
Like, one of my friends who read it, like, I lent her my book after I finished reading it because she wanted to. She said she couldn't read it at night. It was too scary.
Yeah.
I read it in one sitting. It was so good.
I read it, like, over a weekend-ish, and I started reading in the morning.
Yeah.
Towards the end and stuff.
Okay, so basically, this book is about this writer. Her name is Lowen, and she gets in this intense writer's block, and she ends up meeting Jeremy Crawford, who's married to Verity Crawford, who's a famous writer, who had just been incapacitated by a car accident, and he ends up paying her to come to his house and finish her novel that she was writing, so she can publish it and make money off of it. While she's there, she finds Verity's unpublished manuscript, and that manuscript has some very dark details about Verity's life.
Some very deep secrets.
Yeah, and so the point of view of the book is really interesting because it goes back and forth between Lowen's life in the house with Jeremy and their son, and Verity and Jeremy's son Crew, and her reading the manuscript and what the manuscript says. It like goes back and forth, and I really like that because we're getting the sense of development with the connections between the characters, while also getting to learn about what happened to those exact characters before Lowen came into the picture. Because the things that are written in that manuscript, they're just like, I can understand why some people can't read it at night.
Yeah.
And basically, at the end of the book, there's a giant plot twist. They find something out that like throws everything they thought they ever knew for a loop, and I did not see it coming at all. Personally, I still believe what the manuscript says, but some people don't.
I feel like that's a good thing about a book, though, is like having the readers be divided, because that means that they're like truly engaged in the book. Like, I feel like Colleen did a very good job of adding in specific things to engage the reader. Like the first page, someone dies. Like, you're already hooked within the first page. With the plot twist at the end, it gets people to talk about it after they've read the book and get more people to read it and all of this. Like, she does a very good job. And then throughout, like you were saying, it switches back and forth between like point of views to engage the reader and get them to think about other things. So I feel like that, like, she did a really good job with all of that stuff.
You know, this is definitely in my top 2 of the books she's written, because I've read 4 other ones by her. I've read Reminders of Him, Without Merit, and then both of the like It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us, those novels.
You haven't read Ugly Love?
No, I've also read November 9th. But out of like all of those, Verity is definitely my top one because it was so different from all the other ones that I read of hers that I just moved through it so quickly because it was so good I could not put it down. But then there are some people who it takes them a little while to get through because it's just not what they're used to and not what they like. So I feel like it's not for everyone, but it's also like if you can get into it, you get into it quickly and you get into it. Like, it's like it just moves so fast paced and it's so like engaging, like Kelly said.
Yeah. So out of 5 stars, what are we gonna rate this?
Oh, I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 5. Like, I loved it. It was one of my favorites. Actually, I'm gonna go 5. I don't really see anything wrong with it.
Really? I think I'm gonna go 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna go 5 out of 5 because it was one of my favorite books that I've read by her.
Yeah.